Hey, Wildcat football fans, we are glad to welcome you into the spring edition of the Coach Drew Maddox Show, and I'm pleased to be joined on set by the head coach of the LCU Wildcats, Coach Drew Maddox. Coach, first of all, I hope you've had a great off season so far.
Yeah, it's been good. Got a lot of work going on, and just trying to build off of what we did a little bit last year, and it's been good so far. It's good to see you. Good to be back in the studio a little bit.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's start there. Last year you finished with a record of 7-4, and that included winning your last 6 games. What kind of momentum has that taken into the off season?
Yeah, I mean, it feels good and all that. I told somebody the other day, though, it's like, I've heard a lot of coaches say it, but it doesn't really matter. Next year is the next year.
Right.
And we've had some coaches leave and some players leave and all that. So next year is going to be its own deal. We can't think that just because we finished out winning 6 and beat some good people and all that, it's going to be like that to start off the year. We've got to come out and we've got to play and prepare. And so every year is new.
Obviously, you lost some players, the seniors who graduated, and both Micahs, Dunn and Latin, Micah Latin, All-American. So how do you go about replacing those guys as well as some of the other seniors that you've lost?
Yeah, so we hope that we've recruited well enough to do that. We got some guys on the roster that we feel like will explode and try to take those places. I don't know if you can, you got All-American, and then Micah Dunn had been made a bunch of big plays for us down the, multi-time all-conference player and all that. So, you just do your best to replace guys like that. But if we've recruited right and we've done well in that aspect, we'll get to see. But we feel like there's some guys that are gonna come on.
So as far as players who are returning, though, you've got a pretty good one on the offensive side of the ball. Sal Palermo really had an incredible season for you, especially the last few games of the year.
Yeah, he did it. I mean, he went on a tear, I think, the last 6 games of the year. And really, established himself as a runner. We always knew he could throw the ball, and he continued to do so. But he really did some things that we were asking him to do, some advantages that we had. And we'll look to try to keep that and build off of that. And he's too good of a runner to not do it. It's just one of those deals. And so we're going to continue to try to build off of that and let him be who he is.
Running back situation, how does that shape up for next year?
It looks pretty good. We should have a couple guys that were on the roster last year there, and they should be back, and they've been working hard and all that. So hopefully we'll just build off what we did.
Offensive line, maybe the biggest area.
Yeah. So right now that'll be our biggest question mark right now is offensive line. We lost some guys and had a couple guys decide they weren't going to come back, and so that's kind of our question mark. It'll be on us as coaches to get the right players in there and develop some of the guys that we've had and have set back for the last 2 years. And so we think we have some guys, but they're just kind of unproven right now. So that'll be something, moving forward we'll have to look at.
For the defensive side, we all know about Michael Latin in his record-setting year with sacks, but Logan Brimmer was right behind him most of the year, and I would venture to guess he's kind of your leader coming into next year.
Yeah, absolutely. So he, I can't remember what he had, but he was right there in double-digit sacks and had 20 tackles for a loss and all that. He's gotten better, all around, developing as a human being and as an athlete and a student athlete. And so we're excited about the growth that he's done, this offseason by doing what was right all over the place, not just on one specific thing. So I'm excited to see what he does. I really am. He's a guy that is kind of a leader for us, and then you got Bubba Reed, middle linebacker, that's going to be back, and he's the guy that just, I can't tell you how valuable he is to us. He's super smart. He's like a coach on the field. And then the secondary, they really came on. They're all back. They're all going to be back. So, anyways, we're excited to see what we can do on defense. Latin's a tough one to replace, but if we're going to try to replace him, it'd be nice if 10 of the 11, except for him, would come back, and that's what it's looking like right now.
Another one of your challenges is going to be that you lost a lot of your coaching staff in this offseason and have brought in some exciting people to work with you, so spend a little time on that.
Yeah, so, it's a good thing when you win a lot of games. Sometimes it's a bad thing. We had a lot of guys that got jobs other places, and we're excited for them, and I know they're going to do a great job, and that's, part of the deal here is that, we want coaches to go off as well. So, and the coaches that we brought in, a guy that I've, Coach David Feaster is a guy that we brought in as offensive coordinator, and he's a guy that I've worked with in the past and won a lot of games with, and I'm excited to be back with him. And it's an exciting type of offense, and a lot of the stuff that I still want to do, he'll do. And so, and then Coach Stan Smith, who was at Faraday High School couple years back, won a state championship with them. He's back, and we got some more coming in. You know, as I'm talking right now. So, and we've moved some guys around and things like that. So we feel like it's going to be a good staff. It's just going to be getting it all together, and that'll be fine. That'll be up to me. That's my job to make sure all that works right, and it will be. We're excited about it. I'll tell you this: there's a lot of football knowledge on the staff. You know, in the last couple of years, we have some young guys. But now we got a little more seasoned guys that have done the college ranks and have done it in the high school ranks, and very successful everywhere they've been. So we're excited about seeing what they can do to help grow the program and having a kind of an outside approach. You know, they've never been here, especially Coach Feaster's never been here before, and so I like the idea of he's never been here long enough to figure out. You know, he's got to go, and a lot of people don't know him either. And so I'm excited to see kind of what his offense does.
Yeah, and for spring ball, was he here in time for that?
He was here during spring ball.
How did Sal work with him?
No, it was good. It really was. They you know, it's anytime you're putting in a whole new offense, and that's what it is. It's a whole new offense, and doing some tweaks and things like that. It just, you know, it's going to be some kinks, and you got to work through it. But by the end of the spring, I was impressed where we were. I was nervous at first, but then I got impressed with how fast everybody started to get it, and you know, through workouts over fall camp and all that, we'll have to continue to get better and better and just see what we can do game one.
Of course, your assistant coaches do a lot to help with the recruiting effort. So losing them, has it been a challenge with the recruits that you were bringing in to reestablish those connections?
Yeah, a little bit, but a lot of the guys are all in. I mean, you know, the deal is when you win like we did, we started to. I think people kind of see what the program's trying to be, and they want to get a part of it and be a part of it. And I think all the guys that I've talked to are all excited still about coming, and we saw a lot of them, and we're talking to them every day or every week, and trying to make sure everything's good, and it should be.
Very good, very good. So we'll look ahead a little bit to summer, and two things that usually happen every summer. Number one, having camps, and then number two, also setting up workouts for your current players. So let's start with the camps. This is something that you guys do every year.
Yeah, so May 27th, July the 8th, and July the 15th, we'll have our high school camps, ID camp type deals, to where we'll look and see, bring people in, see if they can play football, and let them run around. And if they can't, they get a great experience and get a T-shirt and get to meet us as coaches. You know, the cool part about our camps, I tell everybody this, is like we'll actually evaluate you. Mm-hmm. It's going to be us coaching it. And it's a lot of work on us and all that, but it's us coaching it. We want to see if you can really play, and it's a great deal to mold players and get them better at their skills. Even if they don't go play college football, we're going to teach them stuff that they probably don't know, and they can take something back, and we'll help them out at their high school, their senior year, or their junior year, their sophomore year, whatever it may be. So we're excited about the camps, and then for summer workout type deal, we kind of have a system in place where we get leaders on the team to kind of check and make sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to do when we send out our summer workout program and all that. And so it worked out really well last year, and we hope that it continues to do it. I know the guys are excited about it, and the biggest deal our players are excited about being back. They want to go. They're ready now. They think they're going to be good, and that's part of it. You know, that's part of being good when you think you are good. And so they're ready to go. So I'm excited to see kind of how we do as men this summer and take care of our business this summer and prepare our bodies and do what we're supposed to do.
I know that you're excited too for the 2023 schedule. 11 games, 6 of which will be at home, 5 on the road. And that first game at home on August 31st against ETBU renews a rivalry that went away by virtue of LCU changing to NAIA, but you can play that as a non-conference game now and have the battle for the Border Claw.
Yeah, we're excited about it. I mean, I tell you, I didn't realize, I played in that rivalry a couple of years, when I played here, and we won, and maybe we took it for granted during that time because we'd won so many in a row and all that. But, when I got back here, that was my first game as a head coach. We beat them and took the claw back. And I had probably legitimately 200 text messages, and I didn't realize, I don't think, the magnitude of that until after it happened. And I know they're chomping at the bits to get it back. They're a good team. So Coach Rue just took over there, and he's been the defense coordinator, I think, the last 4 or 5 years for them. They're always in the top 2 or 3 in the defense stats in the ASC. It was hard when we beat them. It was very hard. So told our guys the other day, I said, one of the last spring ball practices we had or workouts we had, I told them, you need to go by and look at the trophy up there in our trophy case, and to understand what it is, that it's a trophy and we're going to play for it on a Thursday night here, game one. Y'all understand that? And so, because a lot of these guys don't really know it. They weren't here when we played that game. Most of the guys that we have starting weren't. And so, a lot of them don't know. They might have heard about it, or maybe they're freshmen, we're not really playing yet and all that. But it's an exciting game. I mean, everybody knows it. It's an exciting game. It'll be fun.
Thursday night football, huh?
Thursday night football.
Wow.
It's a cool thing. You know, Coach Maper, who was there before, kind of talked me into doing that, and I like it. I think it's going to be a good deal.
Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to the 2023 football season for Louisiana Christian University, and it'll be here before you know it.
It'll be here before you know it. We always looking like, all right, so we're going into summer, and then all of a sudden it's like August. You know, tell my wife, hey, babe, see you later. See you in December. We'll see you then. So.
Reconnect then.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, we appreciate the sacrifice that your family has to make, and for all the other coaches as well. So, looking forward to the season. Coach Drew Maddox, thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Al. Appreciate you guys.
All right. This has been the Drew Maddox Show.